I would highlight, especially for associate editors, and I'm sure our assistant editors would say this, please really pay attention to whether or not there's already manuscripts assigned to these reviewers and assistant editors, and also pay attention to how long it's been since they've last reviewed, because we don't want, just because somebody's completed a review, to immediately assign them another review again. So you want to pay really close attention before you send an invitation. Our goal, and just to let you know, I always like to say this in these meetings, our goal is that our associate editors will do 8 to 10 manuscripts per year. That includes an initial desk rejection manuscript. That counts in there. Doesn't mean you have to go through the full process. It just means that you're making decisions related to 8 to 10. And then assistant editors review about 4 to 6 manuscripts in a given year. Stephanie will say a little bit more about some of her goals related to that. But just, I want to flag this for everybody. If for some reason you're getting more than you anticipated, please let us know, because it's not by design. It's because the system, it's really hard to know and really hard to track so many moving parts at once. We have thousands of users, we have hundreds of manuscripts, and we have dozens of assistant and associate editors. If you let us know that you're getting too many, or you're concerned you're not getting enough, just let us know, and we will we'll be able to take steps to help adjust your workload so it falls right in line with this. But most of the time, we have systems in place to help do this pretty well. But sometimes you should let us know. But just know most of the time we do it pretty well. When you do review assignments, I want to highlight a couple things to think about. And Stephanie made a really important point today about the role of associate editors and how they find experts related to the topic. As an associate editor, yeah, she'll say more about that. Fit, topic, and methodology are really about finding the right fit. You don't want to assign an assistant editor a qualitative manuscript if they're a quantitative researcher. That's why it's really important to think about the topic and the methodology. However, if, let's say that you do find yourself in that situation and you're assigning a manuscript where the content is a fit, but the methodology is not, please include in your invitation letter that you understand that the content is a fit, although methodologically it's not, and assure that person that you have someone who can cover the methodology, and maybe write that person that you're really looking for their methodological expertise, because not everybody will be an exact fit for every manuscript. But if you put a few short words, people will know that you've invited them because of their content expertise, even if the methodological fit isn't perfect, or vice versa. The reliability of that user, again, we have a star rating system, and then we know how long it takes them to complete reviews. If it's more than 45 days, that's longer than our requested time frame, and it means you should proceed with caution with a reviewer. Although it doesn't mean you shouldn't assign, it should mean you should be aware that it has taken them longer than our typical 6 weeks on average. And then workload. We don't want anybody who has too many active assignments and lots of recent assignments to do that. Again, if you're an associate editor, you're going to be assigning it to 3 people at a minimum, an assistant editor and 2 reviewers. Now, I encourage everyone, and this is an important point, and the reason we have meetings like this, I call this the reviewer plus, because if all we do is assign manuscripts to people that have 5-star ratings and are well known, we keep on assigning manuscripts to the same people, and we don't invite new people who have registered as reviewers into our system. So I always encourage people to think about a plus. Is there somebody is there someone in the system who hasn't had a chance to review a manuscript and you want to give them a chance, because that helps build their reputation. And so really consider that as well. Don't just use those filters, because those filters can be a way to filter out voices and perspectives if you're not careful. So you want to use those filters mindfully and be purposeful in the plus part, so you can be inclusive in the way that you assign reviewers. But realize you just need a minimum of 2 for a decision. So ideally you get 3 reviews back, but just in case somebody gets sick or has workload issues and you only get 2 reviews back, you're able to make a decision on that manuscript. If you just assign it to 2 reviewers and one of them drops out, that's a delay for that author, because you have to send it out to another round of reviewers when you find out at the very end that the reviewer can no longer complete the manuscript for whatever reasons. These are our basic turnaround times. This is also in the handbook. you'll see typically they're about 5 to 7 days. I think we're pretty generous with our review schedule, 4 to 6 weeks. And I already highlighted, you can add more or less time to that. We know there's busier times of year. So sometimes we give people 8 weeks if it's a really busy time of year and we want to be sensitive, or we don't want to do it around holidays or other things like that, which we really want to make a decision within 90 days. And you can see how these turnaround times really add up to a 90-day decision.